Hello class 12th. Today we will discuss about the Zilla Parishad, its composition and functions. Now for your exam, the composition and function of only Zilla Parishad is required. As for the reduced syllabus, the composition function of the Gram Panchayat and the Panchayat Samitis is not in your syllabus. Now Zilla Parishad is basically it's a corporate body which has perpetual succession and a common seal. It can sue and be sued in its own name. It can also own property. By being a corporate body, it is meant that it has a legal existence in the eyes of law and it can purchase property in its own name. Zilla Parishad ke naam pe property can be purchased and it can be sold. And if somebody wants to sue, if there is, say something goes wrong, Zilla Parishad does something wrong for which you have to sue, then Zilla Parishad is sued in its own name and it can sue a person for doing certain offences. Now the composition of Zilla Parishad is that it consists 10 to 25 directly elected members. Now whatever is the population within the Zilla Parishad, approximately 50,000 people, they elect one candidate. So depending on the population, the number of directly elected member depends. Then the chairman of all the Panchayat Samitis, the second tier, this is the top tier. The Zilla Parishad operates at the district level. So Zilla Parishad is at the top tier. The second tier of the Panchayat system is the Panchayat Samitis. So all the chairmen of the Panchayat Samitis, they are the ex officio members of Zilla Parishad. Now what does ex officio member means? Ex officio member means that because these people are chairman of the Panchayat Samiti, because they hold an office here, therefore they are members of the Zilla Parishad, not otherwise. Then the MPs and MLAs who are representing that area of Zilla Parishad, they also are members of Zilla Parishad. Other than the MPs and MLAs representing that area, there may be MPs and MLAs who represent some other area, but their names are mentioned in the register of any one of the constituencies which falls within the jurisdiction of Zilla Parishad. So they are also the members of Zilla Parishad. So MPs and MLAs whose name are registered in the voter list in any of the constituencies are also the members of Zilla Parishad. Then there are seats which are reserved for SC, ST, OBC and the women. Now the number of seats which are reserved for women is now half. Half the seats of Zilla Parishad is reserved for the women. Now in case the population of OBC is more than 20% within the area which falls within the Zilla Parishad, then one seat for OBC is also reserved. Now, when the Zilla Parishad is formed, in the first meeting, the members they elect from amongst themselves. From among themselves, the chairman and the vice chairman. And the duration of the tenure of the office for the chairman and the vice chairman is the same as that of Zilla Parishad, that is 5 years. Now the quorum of the Zilla Parishad is majority of the membership, total membership of the Zilla Parishad. Say if the total number of members in Zilla Parishad are say 50, then majority means 26 members should be present in order to hold the meetings. The meetings are held once every 3 months. So in every 3 months, once the meeting for Zilla Parishad is to be held. Now, and otherwise also if the 1/3 of the members give an application in writing that they want to have a meeting, then also the meeting can be held. Now as far as the functions of your Zilla Parishad is concerned, now all the works which fall within the jurisdiction of Zilla Parishad may be taken up. Now, such as development of agriculture. Now, the development of agriculture also lies with the Zila Parishad. Zila Parishad, along with the Panchayat Samitis and the Gram Panchayats, it carries out the function of development of agriculture. They set up and maintain the warehouses where the food grains can be stored. They train the farmers in scientific agricultural farming. The land reclamation and conservation of land is another function. Development of irrigation facilities, water utilization in an optimum way, rural electrification, distribution of essential commodities, to look after the spreading of education, to promote rural housing, to organize health facilities, maintenance of roads, encouragement of cotton industries. So many other functions are there which lie within the jurisdiction of Zilla Parishad. Now you can read the functions which are given in your book, and if there's any problem, do ask. I hope the composition of Zilla Parishad is clear to you. Go through your book, read it, and if there's anything you don't understand, do ask. Till then, stay safe and take care. Thank you.